As the last remnants of humanity destroy themselves, the signal is still out there. And with it lies the key to our salvation. We journey from the ruins of our old world and into what lies beyond.
The things I've seen, even I do not believe them.
Where I am taking these two, there's no coming back.
You think you're dreaming?
What the?
This is real.
What you were sent here for! Go! Beyond the frontier!
It's the end of the goddamn world out there!
All this persistence, this world is crashing down! And what will be left?
Beyond here, there's only death.
I'm finding that signal.
Welcome, all Outriders. This is Congrex's Prime coming at you with an Outriders demo pre-review video. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a lot of things to unpack in this video, and I'm going to try to dive into them as quickly as possible to try to get you guys the information on this game, Outrider. So, we're going to talk about the good, we're going to talk about the bad, and we're going to talk about the meh, things that are in this game. And I'm going to be frank with you guys, there's a lot of things to talk about. So, let's just get to it. So, let me give you a preamble to this game. This game is a looter shooter, and it has a bunch of components from a lot of different games all meshed together in a blender to make this game. In a way, this game has a lot of the good things and some of the bad things of the other games. Like, for example, let's talk about Destiny. Let's talk about Anthem. Let's talk about, I'm not naming a lot of great games, Let's talk about Tom Clancy, Breakpoint. Let's talk about all those games that are kind of like on the same genre. They're kind of like looter shooters. You find gear, you power up, you put the gear on, you're able to take harder and harder enemies. Eventually, you get to the end of the story, and then you start to do these special end game events like raids and and special instances and so on and so on. That's going to require you to have a bigger team to do these things. Now, most of these games I just named some of them are meh, some of them are pretty good, and some of them are horrible. The reason I say this because there's a lot of things in this game that resemble a lot of those games. But this game gets set apart by one of the most simplest things of all the things that all those other games don't have, but that you get at the end of the game. For example, let's talk about Destiny. Destiny, you start off really weak. Even if you get Destiny 2, you start off really weak. You start getting gear, but the gear that you get is meaningless. It's 1 or 2 points higher of whatever light level you need to be, and then you gradually scale up till you get to the light level you need to be, and then you're able to accomplish harder and harder instances, or harder and harder dungeons, or harder and harder raids, so you get better gear, and then your gear starts to matter always at the end. It's a pattern with a lot of these games. The same thing with we're going to talk about another multiplayer game that's famous and been around for a long time, like World of Warcraft. It's the same thing. You get scaled down as you grind up the levels. Once you get to the end of the grind, then you start a new grind to get the special, gear, right? For your special class or your special whatever. So the same thing is applicable in this game, but it's not. Very early on in this game, the loot that you get matters. You start getting little gears that have like abilities, and I'm not talking about 1% increase to your speed or something like that. No, I'm talking about all out. You get double damage, or you'll get a thing for whatever class you're playing where you can do the move two times faster. So it's like, you'd be doing the move, 2 times quicker than you would normally do it. I mean, and this is at the low end of the game. I can't even imagine what's going to happen when this game, when you get the higher and higher tiers and you get the higher level stuff. And, it's going to be a gear grind, because that's what these games are in all reality. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. So I've kind of given you guys a synopsis of the game. Now we're going to talk about the bad stuff first, because I want to get the bad stuff out of the way. I want to make sure that we're clear that this game is not perfect. This game has some issues. And the question is, at the end of this review, is that you're going to have to ask yourself is, are all these bad things that I'm going to say overweigh the good things? So my opinion is going to be entirely different than yours, and vice versa. But at least I want to thank you guys ahead of time for taking the time to listen to my opinion. All right, let's talk about the bad or the ugly stuff in this game. I'm going to start by saying that the cover mechanic in this game needs a little bit of tweaking. Now, when I first started playing the game and you don't have any powers and you're, limited to just guns only, gunplay, you really see that the cover mechanic in this game is a little quirky. There's going to be like soft cover, like big cover, like I'm sitting on in this video right now. As you guys are watching me, I'm behind cover shooting a rifle. The hard cover like that, sometimes your character doesn't stick to it very well, and you kind of blow by the cover and you got to kind of come back, and it feels clunky. It feels very very stiff. And then some of the soft cover as well, it's not as noticeable when you're like on smaller cover, but on the big covers, the big walls, that's when you notice that. This other thing that this game has, in my opinion, is the level designers. They're not that good. Games like the Division 2 and stuff like that do a better job of hiding the cover. The cover is there in those games. It's another looter shooter. It seems like some of the levels in Division 2 are a little bit better. They're better at masking the fact that you have this box to hide behind of, so you don't get hit by whatever the enemy's attacking you with. So, and again, that's just giving you guys what I feel about the cover system. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it needs to be tweaked up a little bit. Another thing this game has, which they said that they were gonna take care of in a patch that the demo has right now, the motion blur is atrocious. Like, the motion blur in this game is probably the worst. I mean, if you get seasick and stuff like that easy, you're probably gonna get sick playing with this motion blur. And I wish game developers will stop doing that. And then if you're gonna give you motion blur, give you the option to turn it off. Now, they said that they're gonna give you the option to toggle it on and toggle it off. Hopefully that holds true before release date. But that's one of the things that really stuck out to me as a bad thing. The other thing is that whenever there's a cutscene, I mean, you could be chilling, right? And the cutscene will be shaking. Like, you got a scene where there's just two people talking. It should just be chilled. The camera should be just standing there, and it should be just a solid scene. But the camera's shaking like you're in a war zone. You're being shot. You got to dodge bullets, and explosions are happening. And it's really distracting. It takes away from the scene itself. So, in my opinion, they really need to do something about the actual shaking of the scenes. So those are the things that I think that are kind of like flaky about the game, or as I like to say, I'm not a fan of. So some of those things that developers working on, I've seen on their website that they're working on the camera shaking thing on the scenes, and they're working on motion blur. So hopefully by April 1st or a little bit after that, they take that away, and we won't be having this discussion about that. So, what do I feel about the game in general? So I'm going to give you guys my experience in the game demo since I downloaded the demo on the 5th of March. From the 5th of March to now, I logged in about 12 hours on the computer version of this game, I've gotten zero, issues. Like I have never been disconnected from the game. The game was never frozen on me. I've lost very little frame rate. On some fights, I can see the frame rate drop to as low as 60 in my PC, but I could get as high as 120. So, depending where you're at, it seems to be a little bit less, lower than 90 and all the way down to 60 whenever you're in the city. And then when you're in combat, like I am right now, it's usually really good. I don't notice it drop below 90 ever. So, like I said, I haven't had any issues. I know I've read and I've saw other people complain about frame rates and this and that, and I didn't notice absolutely anything of that nature with my experience in the game. So let's talk about the good stuff now. This is what I feel about this game. This is a ballsy move by a game developer, and when I say ballsy is that you don't see this anymore. You don't see a game coming out like this and them throwing out the first 7 levels of the game with 4 main story quests, and they give you like the little prologue thing, and then they also give you 4 side quests to kind of grind and just get the feel of the game. Try all the classes in the game with no time restrictions, no nothing. This is ballsy. This is a ballsy move by this game developer, and I have to applaud that because you do not see that anymore in gaming industry. You get games like I'm gonna say a game that's pretty controversial. We're gonna talk about Anthem. When Anthem came out, it was top secret. They didn't even want to show gameplay. Like they'll show like videos of game being played, but they don't like, hey, here's a demo, guys. Check out what this game's about. And if you like it, good, and if you don't like it, then don't buy it. But here's a free trial. Like, you don't see that anymore, guys. You don't see that anymore. And this company doing that, I have to applaud them. I have to say, hey, this is a ballsy move in 2021. But that's the kind of the confidence that they have as a gaming developer in their product. And you know what? I have to applaud that. I'm just going to say it again. I have to. And people, if you want to get behind, good, developers, this is a developer, although it's developed by Square Enix, and we all know how, the Avengers, with the microtransactions and all this and all that. And we're going to get into this other part. There's 0 microtransactions in this game, guys. You're going to pay $60. What you get is what you get. There's no surprises. There's no hidden this, hidden that. There's no special duper duper super duper duper edition. There's none of that. You just get what you get. And the full fleshed out product, this is not a live service game. They're not going to be trying to microtransaction you to death like other games that I'm going to talk about, like Destiny 2 and the Eververse store and all this other nonsense. Games that stay away from microtransactions, games that give you a full product, and games that are ballsy enough to come out and be like, hey, this is me. This is what I got. I'm not perfect, but this is my game. What do you guys think? Yay or nay? And you as a consumer can make that after choice. You don't have to depend on the IGNs. You don't have to depend on, all these different gaming journalists to give you the 411 because they have the exclusive access to it, or the special YouTubers that can do that. People like me, people like you, the normies, can go in there and make that decision for yourself as a consumer. So again, guys, if there's anything you want to do in 2021 is download this demo and at least give it a chance. All right, it's far from perfect, but if you say, hey, this game is pretty good, then pre-order this one. All right, because and since Mass Effect Andromeda, I have not pre-ordered a game because I was burned pretty hard by BioWare then. So I haven't pre-ordered any game since Mass Effect Andromeda. We all know what kind of crap show that was. So that's my feelings on that. Another thing that really, really attracted me to this game is the actual in-depth character skill tree. There's like 70 points or so of skill tree based that you can invest in your character. So like you can do multiple combinations of things, how you want to play whatever class character you are. It's very in-depth. It reminds me of the first WoW, vanilla WoW, when they had the skill trees and people would mix match the skills to maximize their class and also maximize their playing style, which to me, I like stuff like that. I like min-maxing. That's like my thing, you know? So the in-depth skill tree reminds me of Horizon Zero Dawn, but to the next level, guys. I'm telling you. I really like that about this game. And the co-op crossplay, they didn't say nothing about it being crossplay until I went up to the actual menus themselves and saw, hey, look, this game is crossplay. No way. So again, another added function to the game that's going to make the game better. Now, it doesn't matter if your buddy has a PlayStation or an Xbox. It doesn't matter if they're on PC. It doesn't matter nothing. You guys will be able to connect with your friends. And I think games in the future after 2021 need to start doing stuff like this. There are already a few games that do it. I applaud this company for, again, doing that as well. Connecting communities. Forget the PlayStations, forget the Xbox, forget the PCs. Hey, let us all play together, you know, and that is dope. So again, I got to give them some more applauses, guys. The company seems to be more consumer friendly. We need more gaming devs to listen to this and listen to me and listen to their communities and to be this transparent and to bring out products like this. Roll them out. You know, let us make the decision, and then that's that. Don't lie to us. Don't show us phony gameplay. Don't show us videos, and then you get the game, and it's a mess, and it gets taken down from the PlayStation Store. It's taken down from whatever store because the game is trash. People are asking for refunds. We all know what game we're talking about here, right? Cyberpunk 2077, right? The disaster the CD Projekt Red, brought up. So I'm not gonna really get in depth about that. I'm glad I didn't buy that game. I'm glad I didn't pre-order. I'm glad I had nothing to do with it. Although I love CD Projekt Red, they put themselves in that position. This gaming dev is not doing that, guys. They're not trying to play you, okay? The only thing that I'm meh about, remember I told you guys I want to talk about meh? There's no PvP in this game. Really weird. You know, there's no PvP. I wanted some PvP. I wanted the action to be able to go against other players. And maybe in a separate mode or something like that. Not exactly like where you're trying to run around and do your main story mission. That would suck. But I'm saying in a separate mode, we get some PvP and we actually get to use these powers against other Outriders. That would be dope. But anyway, guys, that's my video. Maybe a little long-winded. I really wanted to get out as much of the information that I could out of my 12-plus hours of playing the game. And I'm still playing this game. And like I said, I've pre-ordered it. I'm ready to go, man. I'm excited. April 1st is right around the corner. Hopefully, you guys take the time to download the demo, give it a shot, give it a shot and see what you guys think about it. If you do it and you do download the actual game and try it out, do me a favor, do me a solid, drop me a comment, let me know what you think. Do you agree with what I said, or do you disagree? Do you think the game is trash? Either way, I want to know, what you guys think of Outrider. Again, guys, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day and night. Light, love, and peace. Congrexes. Checking out.